I now invite our chief guest, Mr. Santosh Kumar Sarangi, to take the dais. Mr. Santosh Kumar Sarangi is a 1994 batch IAS officer of the Odisha cadre. Mr. Sarangi brings rich experience across sectors like education, commerce, mining, and renewable energy. He has previously served as Director General of Foreign Trade, Chairman of Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority and T-Board, and Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Education. An alumnus of Delhi University and Duke University, USA, he continues to play a key role in shaping India's clean energy future. Sir, it is an honor to invite you for the inaugural address. Sarangi sir, over to you, please.
Good morning. I compliment India Energy Forum for hosting this particular session. I believe this is your 22nd on renewable, and that is really commendable that an organization which is so committed to the cause of renewables has been consistently doing this. Esteemed guests on the dais, including Mr. Ghanshyam Prasad, CA, and all the esteemed guests who are present here. I was hearing Mr. Prasad, and he has given a very comprehensive overview of what's going on in the power sector and what is going on in the renewable sector. It's with great pleasure that all of us relish this achievement of India, where our nationally determined commitment of achieving 50% of installed capacity by 2030 has been achieved 5 years in advance in 2025. And the credit of this goes to all of you who not only believe in the power of renewables, but who have also invested and have done the hard work to ensure that these facilities come up in the country. Today, because of this effort, India has proved that economic growth and sustainability are not mutually exclusive concepts. They can be brought together and can conjointly ensure that these concepts complement each other and result in economic growth of a country. Today, with nearly 243 gigawatt of non-fossil fuel energy, out of which nuclear contributes about 8 gigawatt, the rest all is contributed by solar, wind, and other REs, including biomass-based energies. We are well on our path to achieve this Panchamrit goal of Honorable Prime Minister, wherein he is suggesting 500 gigawatt of installed energy capacity from non-fossil fuel-based sources. And this would require all of us to continue the momentum which we have seen in the last couple of years. We have, at the government level, we have tried to bring in enabling policies which will support this. You know that there is a PLI scheme to support manufacturing of modules, cells, wafers, and polysilicon. And that 24,000 crore outlay has actually catalyzed the sector. But along with that, we also have a host of policies which were brought in to support RE sector. Mr. Prasad was mentioning a few of this, including ISTS waiver, which was allowed till June 30th, 2025. But what has also brought about a push in the manufacturing is the orders brought out by MNRE with regard to the advanced list of models and manufacturers for solar modules. And that has catalyzed a lot of investment in the private sector, because people believed that this kind of an order would ensure marketing avenues for their modules, and today we have about 100 gigawatt of module manufacturing in the country. Similarly, we have also come up with ALMM for sales, which first came out in December 24, and now we have got a revised list which came out yesterday, and today the list of manufacturers for sales is coming out today itself. So with an ALMM list 2 for sales, we should see a substantial jump in cell manufacturing in the country. Similarly, we plan to have a trajectory for wafers in future, and we will come up with an ALMM for wafers in future, which will give the confidence to our manufacturers to put in wafer manufacturing facility. Today, I think only Adanis have set up a 2.2 gigawatt wafer manufacturing, but the confidence to ensure that there will be government support for manufacturing of wafer is something that our manufacturers are waiting for, and the government is working on that aspect as well. Similarly, for many of the government schemes like PM Surya Ghar, where we are looking at 1 crore households to be solarized, rooftop solarized. We are looking at 35 gigawatt of farm level solarization through PM Kusum scheme. And we have also asked the REIS to bring out about 12 gigawatt of solar energy manufacturing facility through CPSU schemes. And in all of this, we have also mandated domestic content requirement, which has the requirement that both the cell and module should have been manufactured in India. And this is also likely to help promote manufacturing in India. Through the National Bioenergy Program also, we support a lot of waste to energy as well as compressed biogas. We have seen estimates that if we are able to produce about 10,000 crore, if we are able to support about 10,000 tons of compressed biogas manufacturing, then this will save import cost of 13,000 crore per year to the LNG import which is happening in India. So it will act as a substitute for LNG manufacturing and will save about 13,000 crore for Government of India. And all of you are aware of the potential of the biomass which is being wasted in the country. As per our estimate, as per a very conservative estimate, India produces about 228 million tons of agricultural waste in a year. And if we are able to leverage that, utilize that for compressed biogas generation, for energy generation, that would also give a fillip to the green energy initiative of the country. So that's also an area where we have been working. Mr. Prasad also mentioned about green energy corridor. Through this scheme in phase 1 and phase 2, we have supported state governments in evacuating power from their RE-rich zones to the non-RE-rich zones within the state. And as part of this green energy corridor, we are working on phase 3 of this, which will have a mix of intrastate network and also a few critical ISTS network where evacuation is becoming a challenge. He was mentioning of a few pockets in Rajasthan, Gujarat and Maharashtra, which are traditionally RE-rich zones. From there, evacuation has become a challenge, and there are many areas in which connectivity now is taking about 4 to 5 years. So in those areas also an advanced planning is required, and transmission infrastructure needs to be created. To that extent, the CA and his team, CTU, and through variety of schemes, MNRE would be supplementing this initiative. There are a number of challenges while we go ahead with our 500 gigawatt challenge. One, of course, is relating to transmission infrastructure, both ISTS as well as within the state. And the point which Mr. Ghanshyam Prasad was mentioning in his speech, that a visibility on locations, RE location, even within the intrastate network, would definitely help in distributed manner of putting RE installation. Right now, there is a mad rush to put up facilities only in select pockets of Rajasthan, Gujarat, and a few pockets in Madhya Pradesh. But that visibility will help our RE generators to look at other locations where RE facility could be put up. Going forward, the idea of looking at battery storage, both in terms of the variety of technology. Today it is largely dominated by LFP, but there are other technologies which are available which need to be experimented and seen how we can leverage batteries to provide stable RE power even during the peak demand period is something that we need to work on. The Power Minister's initiative of supporting 50 gigawatt hours of battery storage through a VGF scheme is a good starting point. And going forward, all our REIs will also be floating their tenders with solar plus BESS instead of vanilla solar projects. And that would ensure that the peak generation during solar hours are not wasted, not curtailed, and those are utilized to ensure supply during the peak demand period. We also need to do some experimentation on seeing how power plants, coal thermal power plants, are able to back down to a lower PLF. Right now, most of them struggle to go below 55% PLF, but technically it is possible to go up to 40% level. So investing in technology to ensure that during the peak solar hours, when the generation is the maximum, the thermal power plants are able to back down, and to that extent, the must-run status of REs will be ensured and there will be no curtailment. And here, some technology-related interventions would definitely be required, and I'll request CE and his team to also put some focus on this particular aspect, so that the RE, which is now being seen with an eye that during the peak solar hour you are producing so much, how do we observe it in our grid and ensure grid stability, is also kind of addressed. Transmission infrastructure we have already spoken of, and there is a massive boost required for transmission infrastructure. To that extent, Power Grid, CTU have been working on a plan to do it, and from MNRE perspective, we would be supplementing with financial support to the state governments for improving and augmenting their intrastate network, and in course of time, certain identified lines even in the interstate network. One of the lines that we had worked on is the evacuation infrastructure from Ladakh to Kaithal in Haryana, and that is one project on which Power Grid is working, and a VGF of nearly 8,000 crore has been provided for by MNRE to improve transmission infrastructure. So we are looking at similar initiatives where from difficult areas or from very rich RE potential areas, the evacuation infrastructure could be supported. I have already spoken of curtailment of renewable power. That's a significant challenge for some of our RE developers, and in course of time we need to find solutions through a variety of mechanisms. Number one, by finding out technologically feasible solutions for backing down during peak solar hour by thermal power plants, by looking at ways in which BESS could be used, looking at ways in which other alternative storages. For example, now a lot of innovative solutions are coming up in heat storage system, in PSPs. So working on those storage systems would also address some of this. Over the years, we have also seen a bit of shift in the peak demand load, and over the years, the peak demand is expected to rise to about 360 gigawatt in 2030. So to that extent, managing and providing flexible solutions to handle peak load is something which is required. And on this, how do we build in innovative solutions around RE, where RE is able to supplement with round-the-clock supply, with FDRE, with solar plus wind hybrid. So these are solutions that our REIAs are looking at, and in future, more and more tenders will come out with these kind of flexibilities which DISCOMs demand. Similarly, working on decentralized RE is something that is the need of the hour, and to that extent, our two schemes, PM Surya Ghar and PM Kusum, have been good protagonists of decentralized RE, and in course of time, we would look at more and more ways in which decentralized RE is promoted, so that the load on the ISTS as well as intrastate network comes down substantially. As far as the private sector is concerned, they have been extremely up and coming as far as RE is concerned. And from my interaction, I have seen there is not a single big corporate which is not committed to RE, whether in commercial scale or utility scale, or to supplement some of their plant loads and their commercial requirements. Each and every corporate today is committed to the cause of RE. And going forward, we will request the private sector also, the corporate sector also, to embrace more and more hybrid RTC and FDRE related RE models when they are thinking of solutions. They also should invest in storage, forecasting, and grid edge technologies, and drive ESG compliances across the life cycle of energy projects, and this would give a fillip to RE in a big way. Going forward, I am very optimistic that with the kind of vision that our political leadership has posed, with the kind of commitment which our bureaucracy and power system related technical manpower have shown, we are going to see very bright days ahead for renewable energy, and addressing some of these challenges of grid integration for RE, addressing battery storage systems, addressing some of the technological solutions which are required in the RE. For example, how do we come up with perovskite at a commercial scale level? At a lab level, we have seen the efficiency of perovskite reaching nearly 30% efficiency. So how do we do it at a commercial level? Offering innovative financing models for RE financing. So these are all areas in which a lot of work is going on, and I am sure we are going to see extremely good days for RE in the next 5 to 6 years. Thank you, India Energy Forum, for organizing this and giving me an opportunity to interact with all of you. Thank you.